Want more?
Slightly different angle on that is the process. I mean, there's the processes, but if something is more, or is there a case where there's more contrast-driven, whatever you want to call it, purpose, whatever you're doing or wanting, when it's driven more by the contrast, what you've had through life, versus what your just plain desires are, saying, I want this, consciously putting that in the vortex. So it's driven more.
We like your choice of word driven. It's important to this conversation, and we have not discussed this before in this way. So you say, my desires are driven by my contrast. We would say, softer, the contrast gave birth to my desire. Now, the driven part, so important, because am I motivated by what I don't want? Not such a good idea. Or am I called by what I do want? That's the inspiration between motivation and inspiration. And you're talking about inspiration. You started with the words calling. So the way you know the difference is by the way you feel. If you feel urgency, got to get this done, irritation at yourself or at others, then you are kind of trying to drive it, and it does not work because you're more actively offering a vibration about what you don't want. So you're actually creating more contrast than you are open pathways. So sometimes we know it must be confusing to you, because sometimes we talk to you about deliberate creation. We say, think your thoughts on purpose. We say, imagine it the way you want it to be. Tell a different story. And then other times we say to you, just let it happen. Chill out. Quiet your mind. Let the inspiration come. And you think, Abraham, you're sort of schizophrenic here, because one time you make it sound like we should really think, and another time you make it sound like we should just let it be, let the good things come to us. And here's the difference. Here's why. And we're going to start at the beginning of this. So let's say that you know what you don't want, which means you know what you do want on some level. And whether you know it or not, whether you say it or not, you're launching these rockets of desire. You've put your request in, and step one has taken place. You have asked. Out loud or not, doesn't matter. Source hears it, recognizes it, joins the desire that you have discovered, holds the vibrational attitude of it. So step two has happened. You've asked step one, Source answered step two. But it's in a vibrational format that you can't see yet. It still is in the gestation process. It still has to evolve. It has to become. These vibrations have to turn to thoughts and things. Well, that's where step three is. And that's what meditation does. As you focus upon a sound in a room, instead of the things that are bothering you, as you take your attention from not being able to pay your bills and put it upon something so not interesting that your mind really is quieted, like the hum in a room. As you manage to quiet your mind, now, hear this. Now, there's only one part of you in this moment active, and guess which part it is? Your inner being part. Did you get that? We've never said this so clearly before. Because you are this wonderful personality, but you are also this non-physical energy. And there is a constant vibrational relationship, this you personality and this non-physical inner being personality. So when you ask, your inner being gets right on it and holds undivided attention upon what you want. No doubt, no fear, no remembering it not happening, no focusing on other people where it didn't go well, only pure, concentrated attention upon the pure essence of what you've asked for. That part of you is locked on to what you want, and therefore the beginning of the creative process is happening. And this vibrational reality is such a real thing that we've called it a vortex, wrote 2 books about it. We so want you to understand its reality. It is becoming, but just like the baby in the womb, it's not ready to be born yet. There's a gestation process that is underway, and your inner being is tending to that. So now you've got to find some way to be a match to what you want, not stay a match to the reason that you ask for it. So if you continue to beat the drum of why you need it, justifying and defending and explaining, trying to get other people to relate to you, then you hold yourself, you don't mean to, but you hold yourself vibrationally apart from what you've asked for. And if you do affirmations, if you write lists of things that you want about it while you still feel that way, you're trying to drive it, not allow it to call you. You're trying to motivate yourself, not allow yourself to be inspired. Is that differentiation helpful to you? But let's say that you've launched the rockets, you've been doing it for a while. You understand about vibration, you understand about emotions and your guidance system. You know about your inner being, and you care about being aligned with your inner being as much as you can. So every morning you get up, and early in the day, before other things get going, you do quiet your mind. You focus upon something that's not interesting, like the boring sound of a motor running in your house. Sometimes the refrigerator is a good thing to focus on. You can even focus on your breathing. Esther, for a while, would hold a note, and then she would hold it in her mind. Doesn't matter what it is, just something that doesn't have much connection or attachment or thought properties. And so then you quiet your mind, your vibration rises, just like the cork's floating on the body of water. You hold it down, that's what negative emotion is. Let go of it, it will float back up there. It will float up. Your vibration will rise to the vibrational equivalency. We're not pushing, it just rises. It rises, don't push it, that's driving. Just stop doing that thing you do and it will rise. So now you've quieted your mind, your vibration rises, and now, hear this, now, you are a perfect vibrational match because you're no longer doing that thing you usually do. You are a perfect vibrational match to what you've been asking for. And now, you and your inner being are one. And now, what your inner being knows about what you want and what you know about what you want are the same thing. And if you do that on a regular basis, you will begin to receive insight. You'll just know where to be. Your timing will be better. Your rendezvousing with others will be better. You will witness, because you're right at the doorway of your vortex and everything that you want is in there. You'll start receiving from that. That's what inspiration is. And that's not driving. That's hearing the calling. That's knowing what your inner being knows about the things that you've asked for. Helpful?
Yes.
Really good.
Thank you.
Really good. Some new things, several new things from what you asked about.
I'm sorry?
Several new things happened
Yes.
today because of what you asked about. This is co-creating at its best. If you can